Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Somebody Should Have Told Me podcast. I am your host, Majisty, and today I actually wanted to do this episode talking about my new ebook, Corporate Commandments for Success. And without giving away everything that's in the book, I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite commandments that are in there and highlight some of those concepts and talk through it. For the longest time, I wasn't entirely sure what to say because I feel like the political climate has had such a great bearing on, of course, the economic climate and where we are just with in terms of the job market. So when I was in my season of process, if you will, um, I was very uncertain about what to say next. And I feel like I have a lot more clarity now on what that's going to be. And that's why I decided to package it into Corporate Commandments for Success. And I'm really excited about that title because I feel like the way that I operate is at the intersection of where faith meets strategy. And the title really personifies that for me because that's who I am. And if you haven't gathered anything by now, you should know it's going to take faith, right, to get you through these times that we're living in, as well as being more strategic than we ever have been before. And so, for a long time, I have had seasons where it's like I've been entrepreneurially focused, and that's been great. And then I've had seasons where I'm just corporate facing, just doing my 9 to 5 thing, and that has been great and restorative as well. As we approach these unprecedented times, and with me being a millennial, I don't know if I have yet had a precedented time in my lifetime. Things have been going on for sure. I feel like the best answer is both. I feel like it is best to exhaust every resource that you possibly have. If you are a creative, get to creating. If you are an entrepreneur, leverage that. If you are bivocational, I think we have to be flexible in these times and not allow ourselves to have our resources pigeonholed or held up in one thing or another. And so I feel like you have to empty the tank. Use everything you possibly have to make sure that you are surviving and or thriving in these times that we are living in. And so I previously wrote six Majesty Six Steps to Six Figures a couple of years ago. And what I wanted to be mindful of in my coming into this book was one, the job market, right? We are seeing unprecedented layoffs. We are seeing marginalized communities be attacked, right? On the back end, if you ask me, in some ways, systemically, um, attacked economically. And I was asking, what is the answer for that, and what can be done? And I really believe that it's going to take flexibility, it's going to take fluidity, it is going to take movement to make sure that you're able to stay afloat. And so, an unprecedented divine wisdom, right, just to be able to thrive. And so, coming off the heels of Six Steps to Six Figures, I didn't want to presume that that is the place where everyone is. Like I said, we're seeing all these layoffs happen, and so if you are feeling like what they call hugging, then you might want to stay put. And that's okay. And I understand that you may not feel like this is the job market to take a leap of faith, and that's completely fine. Or you may have applied the principles in Six Steps to Six Figures, and now you are trying to learn how to navigate and maintain whatever career success you have. And that's the thing that I love about this book is you don't have to be any one thing. If you are just trying to figure out how to maintain, how to sustain, or how to take it to the next level, I feel like Corporate Commandments is for you. So, of course, me being a woman of faith, it is a play on the 10 Commandments. And so so I wrote 10 commandments that are going to apply to your work life. So I'm not going to give them all away. You definitely have to click the link in the show notes to get the book, or if you follow me on any social media platform, you can hit the link in my bio and it'll take you to the links for all the books and everything like that. It is an ebook, so it is available for instant download. Okay, so one of the things I talk about in one of the commandments is that your career is a business and acting accordingly. And so a lot of times people, like I said, are asking themselves, is it entrepreneurship or is it employment? And I really believe that you have to look at your career as a packaged product, and you have to figure out how you want to present yourself to the market. Are you going to specialize in, in honing in on your expertise? Is your niche transparency? Do you highlight more of your journey and show up in those spaces, where employers can see you? Another thing that I feel is really important is really being able to house it and look at it the same way you would as an entrepreneur with a particular product. You're wanting to look at what is going to be your ideal market for whatever it is that you're selling. Well, when it comes to your career, you're selling yourself. And so you need to find out, what is the environment that you need? Is it remote work? Is it physical work? One of the things that has been a priority for me is actually having to revise my from home station, adding a walking pad, adding a standing desk, as to where I used to prioritize the aesthetic of my work from home space. And then I started to have some health challenges, where I needed to get more steps in and be more active throughout the day. And getting a walking pad is something that really helped me make adjustments to your lifestyle. And so it could be something, less tangible that you're needing to prioritize. It could be a certain level of compensation. And you need to find out, what are the job markets that are going to adhere to your product, you being the product, in the way that you need to extract whatever optimized result it is that you're seeking. So, looking at your career with an entrepreneurial mindset, okay? Um, Another thing is, a little secret hack is to never outperform your pay for too long. Learn how to do just enough to show that you can do the job in instances where you are seeking promotion, or, stepping up in your career, if you will. And one thing that corporate America will reward great workers with is more work. And so you have to remember that there are other communities of people that will not so much as lay a finger to additional responsibility without the compensation reflecting that. And it's okay for you to be in these discussions with leadership about what your next move is for your upward trajectory, and still want to know what the numbers are going to look like. Anytime substantial additional responsibility is being added to your plate, that's a great time to revisit compensation without having to move to a new company, is when those roles and responsibilities change. An additional commandment that I talk about is documenting everything that matters. Simply put, if it isn't in writing, it didn't happen. And one of the things that I do in the ebook Corporate Commandments for Success is that I actually walk you through an email scenario of how to have a verbal conversation and then circle back on the back end to revisit and reiterate whatever happened verbally in writing, without it being so obvious or having an aggressive tone that you are trying to document whatever is happening with you. And that's one thing I love about this ebook, is the practicality. There are literally action items, some way to make sure that you're implementing the commandment in each step of the ebook. So you're actually able, whether it's me giving you a framework of an email, or a lot of the chapters have checklists where it can say, are you doing A, B, or C? And you can look at where your career stands and ask yourself if you're implementing these commandments within your career for success. Okay. And then one of the most important things and this is the last I'll say because I don't want to give away too much, is one thing I've found to be so significant is to never leave your accomplishments to speak for themselves. I don't care if you unlock the door this morning at the office. You need to reiterate the things that you are doing, preferably the more significant things, because you're going to want to use those accomplishments when you revisit your compensation, okay? And that's why the sub book is subtitled 10 Rules to Build Your Authority, Protect Your Value, and Command Your Compensation, because a lot of these principles come back to, are you being properly compensated? And when you are learning to document these processes, package and view your career the right way, as well as let your accomplishments, speaking for them and advertising for them, that it is not um, braggadocious, and that humility does not necessarily have its place in when it comes to highlighting your contributions within your career. That can be a pitfall for a lot of women, that you feel like um, you should leave it to someone else to recognize or speak for the things that you have done. Things like that can backfire in the workspace. And so I give you practical examples of the book, how to how to speak for your accomplishments, but also at the same time producing quality that speaks for itself, but then going back and learning how to toot your own horn in corporate spaces. So I'm very excited about what I've created in this book. I know that it's going to empower you regardless of what career level you are on. If you are a mid-level career professional, if you're looking just to maintain, or you're looking for the next level, or you feel like you've gotten to the next level and you're not exactly sure how to navigate, this book is going to be amazing for you. You can look at it as an ebook and a workbook because it's so practical. Like, one of the things that's so important for me with this platform is that I'm always giving you solutions. I can highlight certain challenges in the way that our world works, but I also want to give you things that I've found to be an answer for my life. And I am very confident that this book is going to do the same. So check out Corporate Commandments for Success: 10 Rules to Build Your Authority, Protect Your Value, and Command Your Compensation. I am excited, and I know that you're going to love it. Until next time, this has been another episode of the Somebody Should Have Told Me podcast.